The smoker. The bane of the beekeeper's existence. So I wanted to do a little video on smokers. Friend of mine just put a video out where his lid opened up and a bunch of stuff fell out of his smoker into his hive. And yesterday I ran out of smoker fuel down here. So there's plenty of debris that you can put in a smoker. You can burn about anything in a smoker. So I grabbed up a bunch of this and shoved in it to get me through the rest of the day. The problem with that is stuff comes out. You tip it over and this debris, when it starts getting burnt down a little bit, just starts coming out the end as hot ash. Hot ash in a dry bee box full of wax is not good. I knew one older fella that at the end of the day, similar to me yesterday, grabbed some grass because he was out of smoker fuel and finished his day. He got a call 3 hours later from the landowner. His hives were on fire. So he had blown some ash up in them and some embers when he got going. And you can use, you say you can use anything for smoker fuel. I used hay for a long time. It was just a mess. It was hard to get out of the bottom to light. You can't light the top of the smoker and do well. The fire needs to be in the bottom. So, every time I had to take it out and try to get it lit and then down in there, and it would go out, if you didn't keep working it. So, what I'm using now is burlap sack. I go through a bit of it, but I'm running a smoker a lot. If you've got 2 colonies, 3, 4 colonies, and you're going through them once a week, you can probably get by on 2 burlap sacks a year because they don't burn up. You burn them and get them going, and then you shut them down. If you stop the end of the smoker where smoke comes out, the fire will go out. So I'm using tape because I've got tape all over. My buddy Rodney has a bolt that fits down in his just right. I wish somebody would build a smoker where this is actually turned the other way instead of not being able to stop it. There's no reason that we have to have a small hole here. The smoke's going to spread anyway. So if it was turned around, then you could actually have a silicone stopper that goes in there and shuts it off, and that would be handy. But for some reason they don't design smokers that way. But I wanted to show you the burlap and how easy it is to work. So this is like a half a sack rolled up and shoved in here, and you can see there's some down in the bottom too. You can see how it's started to burn, but it's been smoldered out. And I'll get the stuff from the very bottom to show you this. So the other problem with a lot of smokers is getting them lit and getting them to stay lit. So with this stuff, it wants to start really easy. I got a little breeze blowing out here on it. If you got a lot of breeze, it'll start it by itself without blowing on it. But as soon as you've got a little bit going, just a little air, and you've got a heck of a cherry going. And you get that in there and start puffing on it, it'll really take off. And now I'm going to shove this big wad of stuff on top of there. See the flames coming up out of there? That stuff's burning. But now, with all that on top of it, there is no ash that's going to come up out of here. This thing is going to burn very cool. All this smoke coming out of there is cool. You're not going to get any debris. As as it goes through the day, this thing will stay lit all day for me. I can put a piece of tape on it, go to my next yard, and it's still lit. And if it's sat for a while and I start puffing and I'm not getting any smoke, all I have to do is lift this a little bit and give it a little more air down there, and away it'll go. And then stuff her back in. And as it burns and starts to give me too much smoke, you just poke it down in there a little tighter. It's not going to cost a lot for smoker fuel to have a couple of sacks a year, you know, even if you had to pay full price for a brand new sack. But they're safer. And like you say, this thing will burn. I'll use this all day and still have sack left in there. So, you know, that would be my recommendation. To look at that as a smoker fuel. Like I said, I tried the hay, burned up quick. Didn't always want to light or stay lit. I played with some of the pellets when that first came out, and people were trying the pellets. Same problem, they rattle around. If you tip your smoker up, stuff wants to pour out. And I don't have time to, you know, baby my smoker around and you know, make sure that it all stays nice and flat. I'm grabbing it and moving it. I'm going. I just need smoke coming out of it and not ash. So anyhow, I wanted to do a quick video on that. If you guys got any questions on smokers or smoker fuel or how they work, just let me know. Post them in the comments, and we'll see if we can get them answered. Now I got to get to work.